Avelino, you're next. The next question that I have for you is, what's a priority? What is a priority?
Let's see here. What is a priority? It's a good question. A priority is ultimately a level of importance in some sense. It's like going to the gym or sleeping in. It's like, is going to the gym a priority for you? Like how high of a level of importance is that to you, you know? So that's how I see it.
Mhm. Um, Tony says that we have to pay a price in life. Whether we like it or not, we have to pay a price. We either pay the price of discipline or we pay the price of regret. We either regret of what we didn't do or we celebrate the discipline that we had. Okay. Belly, next question. Why did you choose to work in real estate? And why did you choose to work with a particular company? Because you interview several real estate offices. Well, first, why real estate?
Well, if I'm being honest, I got into it because I was gonna work with you. We were gonna do something together, and I was kind of lost. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do business. I just didn't know what. So, I threw myself at it. And was like, what's the worst that can happen, right? If it doesn't work out, at least I learned something new. Um, so I started doing it, and then the first year wasn't very motivated. It was kind of slow year. But then I met Juan, the guy that ultimately introduced me to kinetic real estate. And I think what really sparked, my interest in wanting to go back was that I saw that people, similar to my age were, making, millions of dollars of transactions per month, not even per year, per month. Like there were top producers like in the Bay Area, and they were all telling me, how you're so lucky that you started so young, you have so much time, all this and that. And I was like, if they can do it, why can't I do it? So I think it was the biggest reason I really chose them was the energy. It was just completely different compared to other offices. It's like a big name office, like Keller Williams, whatever. They're well known because they're the big name in real estate. But their environment just wasn't there.
Mm.
So I mean, it didn't matter what they offered. Like they offered all these training and all this and blah blah blah. I knew ultimately that I was going to learn more in the field rather than in the classroom
And how did you know that?
because it's how it is. It's what you told me.
That's what I told you. Okay. And so you mentioned that you chose kinetic because of the environment, because of the energy.
Yeah.
How many of us do we keep on hanging with the same people even though they drain our energy?
I mean,
How
I used to do
many
it.
of us, how many of us do we have friends or we choose to be around the same negative people, people that does not add any value to our lives? How does that impact at the end of the day our decisions?
Are you asking me?
Mhm.
Oh, I think it's a big thing because I think it's ultimately who you hang around with is who you are. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's that simple. There's no need to sugarcoat or overcomplicate it. It's just where we hang around is ultimately you take on their patterns, you take on the way they talk, they act, their beliefs. Um, but it's very important. Proximity is very, very important. If you want to be, I don't know, let's say a Fallon, right? He wants to play basketball. If he wants to be a successful basketball player, he should be hanging around people who are at a higher level than him. If you want to be, I don't know, like my dad who makes popcorn, right? You should be modeling other people who are, all the way up there, like making like millions and billions of dollars with the popcorn business. So, back to the coach and all you said, right? There's people who've already completed what you wanted to do. You just have to go out there and find out what they did and just model it.
Don't turn off your microphone because I'm gonna go back to you. But Alondra, what does that mean when it comes down to surrounding yourself with other people? Like, what does it mean to you looking at people that are doing something bigger and like you already have your circle of friends or the people that you hang around with? What does that mean to upgrade or to change? That word, it's so heavy. Change, like your mom, like look up to other people, go ask other people, like hang around with different people. What does that mean?
Mm, I think like on a personal level is having the I don't know if it's discipline, the word that I'm looking for, but to want to be better or to literally, like you said, be the change, I guess. But also, because they are friends, it's kind of hard to want to distance yourself, you know?
Mhm.
And I mean, you're having fun, but then you also have like life coming at you, so you need to, really take the reins.
Would it be comfortable to leave your friends? Or what happens when those little comments start saying about you changing and you're changing and you're not doing the same things, you're not the same fun friend, and now you're hanging out with these people? Who do you think you are? Like what are you doing? What do you think? What do you think happens there?
Um, well, I mean, your friends would then say would then say that like I mean, you don't want to be around them anymore. You're changing, again, the word change.
We're
Um, you're acting different.
uh-huh.
When in reality, you're just looking to make or to live a better life, I guess.
But if we're very honest to ourselves, when your friends tell you that stuff, what does that make you do? Does it make you keep going forward or doubt yourself and look back and go back to the old habits or go back to the old you to fit in with what they knew about you? What is most likely going to happen? I mean, in the perfect world, we know we want to keep on going, but we know we don't live in the perfect world. So ultimately, what happens?
I mean, we fall back into it again.
Yep.
It's not as motivating, I guess, to when you hear that. I mean, everybody wants to hear, "Hey, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm here for you." But when you have your friends saying that, then it's like, should I really?
Yeah. And what's worse, then it comes with family. Family
Mhm.
start criticizing. Family starts saying, what do you think he is? Or who do you think she is to do that? She can't do that. So that's a completely different topic. So thank you, Alondra, for sharing. Avelino, you are working in multi-million dollar deals. You have clients that are purchasing $1 million homes. You're going out there negotiating a $1.7 million deal by yourself, and you're getting the offer accepted. You have clients that are trusting you with big properties, and you're 21. What do you think about that?
What do I think about that? Um, I mean,
Do you still believe it? Are you believing it now?
if I'm being honest, when I first came to that one the 1.7, that deal that I got into, it didn't really bring a lot of certainty, I guess. Because when you think about it now, it shows me like what I can really do. And then if I ultimately don't do that or even better, it kind of like, oh, I get anxious just thinking about it. I don't know why, but I think it just ultimately starts with faith. Like believed that I could do it, so I did it.
And what is the difference between our Latino community versus the communities that you're working with that are buying multi-million-dollar properties? Like if we're, the whole purpose of us coming together and sharing this information with the new generation on how to make $1 million, how to save without having to pay taxes legally. Like the whole purpose of us coming together today is to share the strategies and the map that other people are using to bring you guys to realize that it's not as hard. Let me go back to this slide. I want to go back to this slide. This is my favorite slide. This is a couple of ways that you can make $1 million. And what was your first expression, Alondra, when you saw that? Tell me again.
Again, how the numbers aren't like that big.
That it's doable.
Yeah.
It's not as crazy. Like you have, Alondra, you just made the belief that it could happen. And it all starts with the belief that if something is possible, guess what? We just planted a seed on your mind about possibilities that you never thought were possible before. And that's what Avelino's talking about faith. He's been like, I forced him through his high school years to go to different programs that he did not want it to go, and I did not care. I still sent him with people that had a completely different mindset about life. They live in a world with opportunities. We only live in the Bay Area or in Los Angeles or in Washington, whatever we live in a freaking bubble, and we don't know what we don't know. So I literally forced him because I made a decision when he was born that he was gonna see a world that I knew it was out there. I didn't have the money. And I had to fight against my husband sometimes. It's like we're not wasting, but we were paying a lot of money in his education. But we pulled through because we had the belief. Alondra, you have the belief now. So then what do you think is going to happen?
Work for it.
You work for it. Because now
Yeah.
you have a map. Now you have a map. On our next class, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys how you can create $300 a month, $3,600 a year. So you can start investing and you can have over $1 million by age 65. And you only have to save 20, like not even 30 grand. But we need to start now. And the belief has to start now. Avelino has been around people that know it could happen. So it gave him the belief. That's why we're starting these classes. That's why we're starting these groups, because I know you guys don't have access to this information. And it's not your parents' fault. They have tried to do the best that they can with what they know. But that does not mean you have to blame them and say, oh, it's just because my mom was like this, or because my dad this is how I am, or this is why I am, because my mom is struggling. Some of my clients and most of my clients that have to come to work with me have realized that they wanted to change their children. But in reality, the one that has to change is the parent. When the parent changes, everything changes. But not all parents are ready. And I'm giving you guys this information because it's your own responsibility for your life, not to be blaming, like, oh my God, my paycheck, they take so much. Oh my God, why? It's not fair. Oh my God, like, I can't afford this and I can't afford that. Like, no. It's because we don't know the math. We don't understand the math. We don't know the map. And what's most important, we don't hang around with people that could see the belief and in the faith.